Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I'm, of course, Jimmy, and I'm ridiculously excited for this weekend because we're back. We're back. We're back in action, in competitive action. This is the Blades Ramble. We are proudly sponsored by Action Coach Sheffield. We're also proudly sponsored by VMB Auto Centres. Thank you to them both for continuing to support the channel. The links are down below if you want to know more about them. VMB Auto Centres will offer you a 10% discount on your vehicle if you quote the word Ramble. And I cannot recommend Action Coach enough. We are also sponsored because this is the return of the warm-up. So for all our pre-match videos, which is the warm-up, we're sponsored by Triple Point Brewery. So thank you to Triple Point, and we will be there at the next home game. We'll talk about that a little bit more when it comes close to the time. However, we're back. And do you know, I was thinking about this just before I came on, because you know what I'm like. I don't really do preparation. It's more about coming on, talking about things, how you feel at the time. And I was just thinking about, I've put a couple of videos out where I've been really panicking about the summer, the squad, and I know a lot of other people have as well, in terms of really concerned. I just had a little moment there. I wanted to check my microphone were on, and it definitely is. So yeah, there's been moments where we've really been unsure about what's happening. Are we going to have enough? And then there's been other, I mean, I'm loath to use the word bipolar because that's, and I don't mean to do anything to dumb down anybody that's dealing with serious issues. But in terms of my mood, I've been so up and down in terms of United. 1 minute we're really excited, the next minute we're really upset about things. I've tried to be as level as I can, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan like everybody else, and I get frustrated, even though I get to hear little bits of what's happening, not everything by any means. But it's, yeah. So at the moment, I'm on an upswing because we've just brought in Big Harry Suter, 6'7" of a centre half. I'm still scratching my head a little bit as to where he fits in. Obviously fits in at centre half, but does he fit in our first choice too? Because I can't see him dropping a nail. It would be unpopular to drop Jack Robinson, although he's probably a better player than Robinson, in my opinion. And then today, we've signed the wonder kid, Alfie Gilchrist, the kid who we have talked about on this channel over a year ago, really, in terms of when he were potentially not going to sign a new deal at Chelsea, and looks like the one that got away because he's had a really positive progression through their youth team over the last season. Made his senior debut in the Premier League. I believe he scored against Everton. He looks a real player in the making, this lad. He's been described as having an old head on young shoulders. Captain of their youth side. Plays all across the back, but specifically is more a centre half. But he has been playing right back for Chelsea. That's where he'll play for us, I think. Do you chuck them straight in? What do you do? What do you do with our two new signings? Well, usually what I would ask at that time would be, what's your team? And I looked for the old video because I haven't done a new one yet. All them toys. Some of you that are new will not understand where I'm going with that. But we'll get a new jingle. But I'm going to ask you, what's your team? Because this is all about you telling me who you would play, not who you think will play. And this is the team I would play. And I know it's controversial because I've dropped Jack Robinson, but I genuinely think that we've talked all summer about not having any room for sentiment. Yes, he was our player of the year last season. I take that with a little bit of listen, he had a good season by his own personal standards, but I still don't think he's a solid player, and I don't want to stress too much on that because people will be shouting at me. I can hear it. I can hear it already through the screen. People are shouting at me for not including Jack Robinson, but I think Harry Suter and Anel make a nice pairing. It's a little bit of strength and mobility tied together. I think Souttar's more solid. He allowed Nell to get forward. Gilchrist can also drop back a little bit. I'm chucking them both in. I'm chucking both new signings in. As you look at that team, I think we've got two, particularly one, but two glaring spaces where we need to improve. The first one is undoubtedly goalkeeper. And I don't think Andre Brooks is a natural right winger. I think he's done well pre-season, but he's not a natural winger. I know that Wilder's enjoyed, and it's been good to watch, to be fair, the lads out wide cutting inside. It's going to be an interesting dynamic rather than, because when we learned we were playing with wingers, you'd think we were looking at getting more to the byline to cross it in for big Kiefer Moore, because that's the traditional way that you think. However, just because Kiefer Moore is 6'5" himself and can score headers does not mean that that's the only way he can score goals. I think it were either Riley or Jay Football, somebody that I follow closely, not enough to remember which one of them did it, but one of our stats men who concentrate on some of our figures said that you might be fooled thinking Kiefer Moore is a target man. He can do that role, but he's much more prolific as a bit of a fox in the box striker. Surprised me to hear it, but I'm excited by it, because if our wingers cut inside because they're on the wrong side for the favoured foot, then they're going to have balls into his feet and stuff in the box, aren't they? Rather than in the air necessarily. So we can mix it up, is the message really. It looks obviously, well, we're talking to different players, which we will come to. I'm just going to run a quick little video that I've put together from a few clips that our Ramblers put together, just asking, in general, just 5 quick questions to each of them. And this is what they had to say. So let me know what you think about this.
6 out of 10 so far.
7 out of 10.
We're going to be 8 or a 9.
I'd say easily 7.5. Bump up to 9 if we get the heavily rumoured players.
I'm going to go about a 7 at the current point in time. We've just brought Harry Souttar in, maybe pushed it out to a 7.5.
7 or 8 out of 10, mainly because we haven't got a goalkeeper yet. The reason I put it so high is because we've sold a couple of real problem positions at fullback, left fullback in particular, where we look a lot stronger now, and also in centre mid, obviously with Kelmer here. I think some of that for a free transfer, that's an amazing free transfer.
I think we've had a load of good quality. I think we need more. I think we all know that.
I think we have made some good signings in Shackleton and McCallum, and brilliant signings in the likes of O'Hare, Burrows. Kiefer Moore, I think, is a great signing as well.
What is interesting or is good, I think, is that recruitment's been clearly a lot more, creates a lot more flexibility. So we're not so rigid.
Got to sign a keeper.
Goalkeeper has to be.
Yeah, without a keeper, I can't see us doing much, because we just can't trust Gribbage to go full season.
I don't think Davo is a bad backup as a goalkeeper, and I think in playing a couple of games at the start of the season while we sort out that number 1 spot isn't a bad thing. But yeah, you wouldn't want him as your number 1 all season.
Cooper, Souttar, Gilchrist, Kumbayar from Palace, Jimmy Grimble, Pele, Chris Porter.
I definitely think, as we all know, a goalkeeper, a right back and a right winger are needed. But I also think, I'm not 100% convinced that we need a Vinny Souza in the Championship for most games.
Dedicated right back, backup centre back for Nell. Definitely somebody on the right wing, ideally who can got a trick about them, a bit of pace, knows what to do when they get into the box. And then we need another striker, because we can't rely on Kiefer Moore and Ryan Brewster all season.
We need, obviously, the players that have been heavily rumoured, but I think on top of that, we need a player like Tom Canner as backup striker, and then maybe a left winger, just so that we've got a bit of squad depth. Right now, there's only really Hamer that's probably the best player to go there.
Rather than wasting Hamer's talents out on the left-hand side, you could perhaps bring him in the middle, get rid of Vinny and bring a left winger in as well. Obviously create some flexibility. Again, if you're playing against some of the tougher teams, then you can always revert to maybe a flat 3, should have Shackleton in there, should have Brooks in there, Tom Davis when he's fit. So there's all sorts of options, I think. I think that's one of the really good things about recruitment this summer.
Right back, centre back for me as well, key positions, wingers, which it looks like that's what we want to play, has to be key positions as well. And if I'm being greedy as striker,
Well, we need to get Gilchrist rubber stamped, in my opinion, and we need probably, for me, two. We need two. I'd like 3 more attackers, and obviously the goalkeeper's a massive thing at the minute.
if you get Cooper, get Gilchrist, get Suter, get Raksaki, brilliant. And then, yeah, if we can get a cheeky loan for Tom Cannon, that'd be brilliant.
My gut feeling is, just because having seen him in pre-season, love the way he works off the ball as much as the way he works on the ball. Callum O'Hare.
Callum O'Hare.
O'Hare will be really, really good. I think he'll be a brilliant player for us this season.
Blaster and O'Hare are really are going to be important players for us. We need to keep them fit if we can.
He's best signing in Championship by a mile.
Blaster.
I'm really looking forward to seeing like a full season of Ollie Blaster as well. I think he can be really, really good too.
Haying that O'Hare, Blaster, them type of players, but I could see easily Burrows being there as well.
But I'm really excited about the fullback Harrison Burrows, mainly for his set piece delivery, final ball quality. Looks like he can hit a ball, joining on that left hand side.
I think top 6.
Currently, I think comfortably top 6.
We walk it, lads.
I think we'll finish in the playoffs. I think we'll come second this year. I think Luton will murder the league. But if we don't get that, I can see it getting high up in the playoffs.
Possibly flirt with top 2. All depends how we start.
We're going to win the league, aren't we?
Top 2 will be where we finish. I'm pretty optimistic. The business we're doing seems really, really good. We're getting a lot of players that other teams are after. Yeah, I think we're going to have a really successful season if we can get these few signings over the line and get going.
Get that extra recruitment done. I don't see why we shouldn't be finishing top 2, or at the very least breaking the old playoff duck and going up for the playoffs.
I'm going to say 2-0 to Blades. Big Cave to score, and Vinny Souza to get a late second.
2-0 to the Blades. I think Big Chief can score, and I'm going to go O'Hare as well.
3-1 Den Blades.
We'll go 2-1 United.
2-0 Blades if we get a goalkeeper. 2-1 if we don't. So a little caveat there.
Team's going to be gelling together, new side, so wouldn't surprise me a away draw, 1-1 score draw, something like that, just to get ourselves up and running.
I think a 2-0 win for the Blades.
Oh my word. How exciting is this? We are back. Thank you to all the lads for their comments on that video. As you probably noticed, they only sent me those videos yesterday. That was how recent it was. Because obviously some of them saying, let's get Suter, let's get Gilchrist sorted out. Well, we've done that today. I'm just having messages pop up as I'm talking to you that Raksaki looks like it's all but done. I know that you come here for rumours as well and what's happening. We've been heavily rumoured to be speaking to Mike Cooper. The latest on that in the press is all that I'm reporting on in a minute, because I hadn't had an update from the club and I wouldn't necessarily be able to give it out if I did. But Cooper, we are assessing our options on Cooper because Plymouth are playing silly buggers, really. So it's one of them to keep an eye on. We've certainly not written it off, but we have to explore other options. And Carl Rushworth is a name that's been dropped. Really, really strong alternative. We all want that permanent goalkeeper, no doubt about it. But Carl Rushworth is an alternative on loan, England under 21 keeper. We've talked about him a little bit on the channel before. It's very exciting, very exciting. Getting Raksaki on that right hand side, hopefully, and that final piece of the puzzle. Look, I think we need a striker in terms of a rotation option with Kiefer Moore. We don't know how Brewster's going to do. We talk online. It's funny because a lot of Preston fans are saying we're going to get absolutely mullered. So everybody else seems to think we're doing great business. And I get that this is supposed to be a little bit of a preview. And that video that you've just seen from Ramblers there, it won't be a regular thing that's featured necessarily, but I'd like to do that and check in with them at different points. It might be monthly, it might be at next transfer window, but if you liked it or if you wanted something similar, then let me know what you think about it, because we like to try doing different things. And as part of that, something that hopefully will be part of the warm-up going forward is, because this is supposed to be a bit of a preview of the Preston game, so should we find out a little bit about Preston? You might see similarities and it might have been taken from the same sort of role that I've just played you, but this is much shorter. So have a watch of this and see what you think about the game after.
So hi, I'm Aaron from Just GC Football, big Preston fan here. Truthfully, I think it's been a little bit paused because we look very short in the squad. So we need a right wing back, left wing back, and there's a few other areas because I think we look short in defence. We've only got 2 to go at. So I'll go for Forster now, midfielder that we signed now, Icelandic from Denmark. So round low, it's 3-5-2. Straight off the bat, 3-5-2. So I say our main threat is Emil Rees. I think he's our best chance of a goal. If he does start, if not, Will Keane. Our weak link is left wing back. Say Brady like that, especially not replacing Miller. So left wing back is our vulnerability on the left. So in Northend we're a very physical side, so it will be a very physical battle. It'll be very not so tactical. I think they look pretty solid to come straight back up. I'd be surprised if they're not in the top 6 at the very least. Because I don't really see any weaknesses in the Sheffield United squad. For prediction, I'll go for 1-1. So go check us out. You've got our Instagram and also Twitter as well. So Just GC Football. That's our YouTube. So Just GC Football, and you'll find us. I'm not impressed unless we get a few more signings. We might be able to sneak a top off, but if not, I reckon we'll be classic mid-table. I reckon we'll finish up a little bit lower, 14th. So for Sheffield United, I'm surprised if it's not a top 4 finish. But do they have enough to get the automatics? I think they do, 2nd.
Top man. Thank you for that, Aaron. Very much appreciated, pal. So that is a view about Preston. It's nice to see what's happening on the other side from that. They play 3-5-2. They're struggling for wing backs. They're not impressed. They've only signed 2 players at the time of that recording. So I'm pretty confident. I think we've got a generous start. Not necessarily an easy start, but a generous start to say our players won't necessarily have a load of time to gel. Obviously, we've got QPR after that, and then Norwich, who have lost a couple of big hitters as well. QPR have lost Willock. So maybe, just maybe, we can wipe that deficit and get off to a decent start. Now, obviously, this is the warm-up, and it's only usually a half-hour show. I'm not going to stay much longer than that, but I'm conscious that people have dropped their comments in, and I've put a couple of videos up, so let's jump in. Was Harry the mystery player? Which mystery player was that, Blades, all the way? You'll have to let me know, pal. Feeling positive about the season, says Daz. Alfia's signed, says Jack. We're looking stronger defensively with these signings. I think the defence is pretty much done, to be honest. It was our weakest area at the start of the week. That's obviously if you don't count goalkeeper as part of the defence. Brian mentions a good point here. That 30-minute interview with Wilder on BBC was brilliant. Having listened to that, you can't help but believe this is the man to take us back to the top. Total belief and passion for the club. Bri, you know we're on the same page with that, pal. Not everybody is on the Wilder train again, and I understand it. And we've talked about this before. People are more than entitled to their own opinions. David Webster, if he's in tonight, will definitely not be on that train. But how you can listen, like Bryce says there, how you can listen to that interview with Adam Oxley. Shout out to Adam, great interview. I'll be on Radio Sheffield tomorrow night, live from the Sal, for anybody that wants to join us there. But yeah, how you cannot believe that. I know the interview prior is where people were concerned about his body language and some ways they were answering questions, things like that. But he seemed rejuvenated, motivated, happy to be there, said he'd gladly work at club for the rest of his life. It was just brilliant to see, and it's sort of brought a lot of people back round, which is brilliant because he's bringing everyone back together again. That's what there's no man better, in my opinion, and I'm happy to talk about it. Evening, Jimmy, another great signing today. It is a great signing, Scott. Things shaping up really well now. Can't wait for Friday. I think it'll be Dave Owen, Cooper and Raksaki in before QPR will be brilliant. Think it's doable. I think it is doable. I think it is doable. yeah, let's be confident. We're on a roll, aren't we? 2 good signings in 2 days. Also, have you heard any more about the striker sitch? Either Campbell or Cannon. Can't see it being both. I asked this in the Platts chat earlier. So if you've answered already, skip it up the ramble. I've had a busy day at work, mate. I haven't been in the chat today, so I'll catch up with everybody's comments afterwards. I think it's probably more likely to be Campbell. I would prefer Cannon, but I think Campbell's a likely target. Whether it's the only target, I would doubt. But a lot of people had turned to Tyrese Campbell. He's free. What is he? 24, injury prone, and hasn't got the best goal record. But yeah, interesting shout. All getting exciting. Perfect end would be Cooper, Raksaki, and Cannon. Absolutely, Stu. But surely, I mean, I would. But knowing football managers as we do, particularly Wilder, well, not necessarily particularly Wilder, but it's very doubtful that the day before a game they'll sign somebody and put them in squad, or at least start them. So even if we sign Cooper tomorrow, which I don't think we will, I don't mean we won't sign Cooper, but if we sign Cooper tomorrow, which is unlikely because of the quick turnaround, he's very unlikely to start. But stranger things have happened. I'd love to see Raksaki off the bench. Evening, Jimmy. Thoughts on Sam Johnston wanting out of Palace? Any hope at all? Huge wages, pal. Huge wages. But as a loan, yeah, potentially. What a player he'd be as well. So, yeah, like that. Heard Wilder's wanting, but obviously my first choice is Michael Cooper and always has been. Heard Wilder's wanting that young Brighton keeper on loan. Yeah, Rushworth. Heard nothing about Cooper. That Palace kid wants to come to us over Leeds. Just need a couple of strikers now, Jimmy. A bit light there. Yeah, we are, pal. Squad shaping up nicely. Just needs strength in depth now because the first 11 looks mint. Almost. But if we get injuries, that could seriously cost us. I think we're at least 5 players short now, Jimmy. I think 4. I think we need a keeper and a right winger. I think we need striker cover and maybe 1 more. We've got 2 loans. Yeah, I think we might only get another 3. I might be wrong. Love you, King Jimmy says calm. I'm fond of you too, pal. I love being with you too. What's that from? I don't know. Welcome to the Twin Towers of Harry and Anel. Up the blades, up the ramp. Yes, Rob, they are going to be monsters. People have talked about it, but from set pieces now, we've got Harry Suter, Kiefer Moore, Vinny Souza. We're just giants. Love it. Let's hope we get a win, says Kelly. Absolutely right. Evening all, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Up the blades, up the ramble. It's so good to be back. I am so excited. And if nobody knows, while we've got over 350 of you here, we are doing a watch along for the game. For those of you that can't make the game, myself and my dad, Andy the Blade, making his return to the Ramble, will be live doing a watch along in the studio. Absolutely love it, in Ramble HQ. And not only that, I'll be doing a match reaction afterwards. It's not quite 90 after 90, because obviously I'm not going to go that long after we've done a watch along. But we'll be doing something called the debrief. It's brand new, and it's a shorter match reaction that we might invite a couple of callers on, but it won't go the length that a normal 90 after 90 does, because I'll have just have done a huge watch along for game. So you'll be sick of seeing me by then if you're not already. PS 3-0 Blades, says Ian. Top man. Thank you, pal. Evening, Jimmy. Feel a little bit more confident after the last couple of days. Good, pal. I'm pleased you are. I think it's affected everybody quite positively, hasn't it? Dino doing his usual bit at Palace, apparently with Raksaki. Yeah, he responded to a tweet that I was linked to as well. It wasn't my tweet that he responded to, but I saw it early because I was in the link earlier on. And yeah, Dean Henderson's put a good word in with Raksaki, apparently, he was saying on Twitter. So that's brilliant. What a player, what a man, Dean Henderson. I was excited before this week, but a big effort by the Prince, Lord Wilder, and the rest of the board. Blades are cooking now. Like and subscribe, up the Ramble and up the Blades. Cheers, Daz. Daz, Wes Westerby, much appreciated, pal. Thank you for your support as well. Evening, Jimmy. Feel more confident. Supposedly doing his bit for Raksaki, up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Thank you, pal. I'm expecting a bit of a bumpy start due to errors in play as they get to grips with stuff. But as long as there's a good improvement game to game, I'll be okay with it for the first few games. I agree, Andy. I think we're not going to be done, are we, before Preston, clearly. But, you know, whether it's QPR, whether it's Norwich that the squad finally starts to come together, it's looking really positive for how we're shaping up. Scott saying, breaking news, Sheffield United have won the race for Raksaki, will pay the fee required, and prospect of playing for Sheffield United was a big pull over all other clubs. Like, I don't want to pour shade on Alan Nixon at all, but he has missed the mark on that story several times on the Raksaki thing. We were never behind QPR in the race. We were never behind other clubs. We were always a really strong player in the race. The only thing was, would he want to come to us? That there was murmurings that he might want to stay in London. I understand all that. But yeah, we have won the race, if you like, but from being out in front. Feeling positive about Friday, says Jack. So you should be, pal. So you should be. Blades 2-1, says Al. I'd have gone 2-0, but still short on a keeper. That's exactly what my Mountain said, and you've put your comment in before him. So, yeah, love that. Can't see anything else happening in time for Preston. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Might do, mate. Might do. Tim says, feeling positive, Jimmy. I am, but then famously deluded. Tim, you're always positive, and I love that positive spin that you put on things. And I am. We all know, though, being a Blade, it's the hope that kills you, isn't it? It's the hope that kills you. Top signing for us, Alfie Gilchrist. Wilder is the man. Up the Blade. Wilder is the man, north side. Wilder is the man. What's off for players to sign and able to play? Oh, cut-off time for players. I think it's usually Thursday. It's the day before at 12 midday, isn't it? So, yeah, we might. Yeah. So as long as they've signed before, we might not announce them till 3 o'clock if we sign someone tomorrow. I'm not saying we definitely will. So don't come at me. But yeah, it's usually midday on the day before the game. Dino says, can't wait to get to Preston and start doing what I love most with Oaks in my lad. And for the first time, my granddaughter support them Blades. Whoever wears them red and white stripes. It's top man, Dino. Oh, you have a great day, pal. Love that. Love that. Scott thinks we need a winger for a wide formation. Absolutely. We do, mate. Evening, Jimmy. Really excited for Friday. Just wondering how we'll line up considering the new starters. I personally still start Sariki. Well, you're a fool then, Jamie. You're a fool, pal. I'm only joking. Mate, that's your opinion. He's played okay. I think he's been a little bit naive with his positioning, and that's just me nitpicking. But I think for a young prospect, he's done really well. To say he hasn't necessarily had the trajectory we all thought he would have, because he's got so many of the right tools. I think this pre-season he's done really well. So, yeah, I wouldn't be upset about it. But when we see them both play, Gilchrist is levels above. So if Gilchrist had a bit of a pre-season, I'd go straight with Alfie, personally. We win 2-0 on Friday, says Danny. Preston not playing well and not signed many. I think will be too much for him. Hope you're right, pal. Football Insider's also reporting deal is done. Is that Peter O'Rourke? And Raksaki heading to the Blades. Like it's going to happen by the looks of it. By all the positive momentum's riding that way, but it's not done till it's done. Preston fans very nervous about Friday, says Bill. Worried about their keeper and defence. Think we'll smash them. Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine if Blades win 4-0 on Friday night? I think we usually slow starters under Wilder, so I'm going 1-1, I think. Okay, fair enough, pal. Understand that. The man Mountain himself, both Gilchrist and Suter into the 11. We're flying into a successful season here, Blades, up the Ramble. That Mountain has been really positive about, and you all know I rate his opinion. He's a regular contributor to the channel, Platinum Rambler. I think he talks a lot of sense, and he has been really positive about our season. And that gives me confidence. People who I think know the game, I value his opinion. I'm happy with that. Dave the Nose is exactly the same. Thinks we're going to go really well. I love it. I love the positivity. I love the optimism. Good evening, Ray. Hope you're well, pal. Hope the recovery is going all right. We're thinking about you. Again, apparently the Blades have met Palace's loan fee for Saki. If true, what another superb signing. Chris is getting the business done. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Top man, Ray. Another 2 great signings this week, but we now must focus on signing a goalkeeper. 100% right. 100% right. that has to now take the priority over any other position. Up the Blades. Look, if Raksaki comes in first, none of us are going to complain because I think this kid is going to be really good. I've watched him since. He's going to be a difference maker, I think. And in this side, with a Callum O'Hare and Gus Amer and Ollie Arblaster behind him, oh my goodness me. The kids say we're cooking. I'm not sure whether I like that phrase or not, but wow. Not nearly enough depth in the squad, says Mark. That's the spirit. No, I'm only kidding, mate. That is, some would say it's negative. Some would say it's realistic. I agree with you. There's not enough depth. It don't mean we can't get excited, does it? And I'm sure you're excited too. But we can't lose focus on just because the 11's starting to look really strong. We all know how tough the championship is. We all know how injury prone our squad's been over recent years. We can't rest on our laurels here. We're just hoping that we ride the luck of no injuries because it's never guaranteed, is it? Looks like we've missed out on Cooper, says Josh. I wouldn't say that, pal. Absolutely fuming missing out on such a promising kid. We've not missed out on him, pal. Don't worry about that. It's not done yet. Sonny, good evening, mate. Afternoon, Jimmy. Just want to mention how good Wilder's been in terms of business and the interviews. I'm really looking forward to the season and think we're going to smash it. Up the Blades, up the Platinum Ramblers. Is that what it is? Top man. Anyway, I agree. If you look at our business, what we've done, I know we lost a lot of players and we need more. But look at the standard of player we've brought in. I'd be happy with some of these. Callum O'Hare, you would have signed in the Premier League to strengthen us and give it a go. Just superb. Kiefer Moore, you'd have had certainly as a squad option in the Premier League. I think Alfie Gilchrist gives it a go at getting into our starting 11 in Premier League. Really, really good. I think he just plays Suter and Anel, says Bill. Left foot, right foot doesn't matter as much in the back four. I agree with that. Big season, everyone says about our fan base being incredible. Last season, the players lost the fan base. Can't do that this season. They won't, mate. They won't. We will be right behind them. I think everybody's really excited, to be honest. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. We start off away from home, obviously. We are famous for our away support. I think we've got certainly one of the best away supports in the country. We're absolutely amazing, loud and proud on the road, and I don't get to many away games at all. I try and get things going at John Street when I can. It's not easy. But yeah, I think we'll get behind him this season, mate. Don't worry about that. Two great signings, says Nige. A great transfer window so far. Definitely be a lone keeper. We've moved on from Cooper. That's dragged on and isn't good for the club or player. No, I think, to be honest, with these deals, you just have to be patient. It's not always, it's frustrating at times, isn't it? Waiting to see what happens with players. And we might not get Cooper in the end. We might choose to go for Rushworth or somebody else. I also don't think we'll ever let Cooper go off the table without making a decision, if that makes sense. Buzzing on it, get a keeper, and we're just about there. Oh. Dave the Nose, good evening, pal. Good evening, Jimmy and everyone. Finally, football is back. Can't wait to get up to Preston on Friday. More than fancy 3 points. Yeah, me too, pal. Me too. Protests in Sheffield earlier were because of you excluding Robbo, says Bobby. Yeah, possibly. We're not going to talk about the protests, are we? But I know people will be annoyed at that. Evening, Jimmy. Really like the look of our first 11 and trust Wilder to get it right. Bring on Friday night, up the Blades, up the Ramble. Jimmy, good call for team sheet for tomorrow night. Fingers crossed. I think he'll play Robbo, though, won't he? He'll play Robbo because he's captain now. Jotted down my 11 for Preston earlier when I was meant to be working, and it's like for like, the same as yours, assuming Moore is fit. Moore will be fit, Joe, and you know your stuff, pal. You definitely know your stuff. Bang on with that 11, Jimmy, says Scott. That'll be mine too. Imagine that team with Cooper and Raksaki in it. I know, mate. I know. That is a title contention 11 with Cooper and Raksaki in it. And I don't say that lightly. That sounds like a bit of a throwaway, salacious comment, but that matches up to anybody in the league, that 11 with Cooper and Raksaki in it. I think a keeper will be in the pipeline for sure. Not sure if ready for Preston. I agree, Lord Tullum. I agree. Good evening, David. Got to get Raksaki back in. Yeah, I've got a fair few puns coming for that one, especially when he's playing with Jamie Shack. Jamie Raksak and Shack. But yeah, we'll get on to some of them, don't worry. Looks like a good following for Preston. Can't wait. 2 days. I know. I think Brooks lets us play with 3 number 10s behind the striker like in pre-season, cutting onto his left. Raksaki lets us play with a more traditional winger. That's right. Yeah, it allows us to mix it up. I've seen some concerned about the balance where Gilchrist is a much more defensive-minded fullback, whereas Burrows is a much more attacking left back. There's also the fact that Hamer will cut inside, and Raksaki, if he comes in, will likely go to the byline. Well, that I don't necessarily think that's a terrible thing where you've got a different approach on either side. I don't think you have to be completely balanced. Like Bill said earlier, I don't think you need a left footer and a right footer in a pairing. So I think we can at least try and mix it up a little bit and just see how it goes. Just see how it goes. And I'm really like, because if it turns out that, oh, well, we prefer actually just getting to the byline and a winger like Raksaki, then we can put a traditional winger on, if you like Burrows further forward, or even Sam McCallum could probably do a job further up the field. And then we go outside the fullbacks, don't we? So there's all sorts of different ways you can mix it up. And I think it's exciting. Got to be 8 now, up the Ramble. Love the videos. Thank you, David. Thank you. Appreciate that. Start Brewster on Friday because Preston's height is quick and gives him confidence. Big Keith can come on and cause no chance. Big Keith is leading the line for me. I understand your logic, Ollie, and you're completely open to suggesting what you like, pal. But I personally will go with Keith and more. Happy with the signings, but we need a goalie plus a striker. I think we need a goalie, a winger, and a striker, Kev, to be honest, mate. But yeah, we're on the same page. I think most Blades are now on the same page. Goalkeeper is top of 99% of our wish list, isn't it? Preston defend deep and we're woeful going forward last season. Keeper, 2 strikers, and going 3-1 Blades win. Nice doubling Blade. Love that. Might be better off putting Suter in net. Good shout. Yeah. Joe's, yeah, matching what we're saying. 9 out of 10 window if we get those 3. Davies is decent. I don't have much worries about him. Another number 1 would be nice. Davies is a average to below average championship keeper for me. Average probably is fair. We don't want that when we're pushing for automatic promotion, which is what we're hoping to get. But like we said last time, a world-beating goalkeeper isn't always necessary at championship level. You just need a good to very good keeper, and that's what Wes was for us. He was decent, good in the championship. I know people rate him a lot higher, particularly against our current keepers. But I hope he enjoys playing for West Ham. Preston defended deep last season and were woeful going forward. It wasn't the tactics their fans wanted. Keep Hamer in that midfield is outstanding. We need a keeper 2 up top. A keeper 2 up top and going 3-1 Blades. Yeah, I know you've sort of redone that comment, haven't you? But in terms of keep Hamer, we might have some news coming up over the next week or so about that. So keep it Ramble. Keep it Ramble. Do you think Wilder will get enough depth in the team by the end of this week? No, not by the end of the week necessarily. I think we've got depth. No, we haven't got depth in the squad. We've got enough quality in the 11. We haven't got enough depth in the squad. I don't think we'll get it by the end of the week, pal. The additions are excellent for us, says Great Bants. The bad thing is the lateness, which affects the team cohesion. I know. I'd rather have them than not have them at all. Have them late than not at all, though. Defense learning in the league is never a good thing, but the goalkeeper, striker, and a winger away from top 2. I agree. Any truth in Dubravka? I've heard his name mentioned once or twice. He's certainly not a top target, but he's not off the table. Jimmy, we need a very good goalkeeper and a centre forward, as I think sick note won't see the first month out up the Rumble, up the Blade. Hey, Ian will not like that. Ian will not like that at all. There's a freeze because of all the players we're getting in. Oh, no, we're not freezing again, are we? Jimmy, take over. Okay. Sam says, good to see some positivity from us now. So happy and looking forward to the season now. Jimmy, up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Lee says, seems more positive. Looks like the plan is to not concede any goals and draw 0-0 every match. No, we're good. We're good, mate. We'll be fine. If anyone could get a tune out of a down on his injured striker. It's this manager. Look what he did with McGoldrick. Nothing saying it can't happen with Campbell if we decided to sign him. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. He does get the maximum amount of players who don't always reach their full potential. Is the game on Sky, says Jack? Yeah, it is. It is. That's what we'll be doing our watch along through. We'll be watching it on Sky here, so you can follow it along with us as well. Chris says Sheffield United wait in the Blades Ramble videos at the same time. No. Oh, okay. Well, that's an interesting choice. Some good signings, but please let's have a keeper in before Friday. Interesting that. Interesting. Is this war? I'm not sure. Jimmy, feeling more confident in the season now, like new signings made. How many more do you see coming in before the end of the window? Definitely goalkeeper and strikers. I think maybe 3. I think we'll get a permanent goalkeeper, hopefully, and 2 loans. But I might be wrong. No sponsor for the shirt on sale tomorrow in the club shop. Yes, interesting that. Evening, Jimmy, all seems to be coming together now. Just praying for that keeper. Me too, pal. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. Hello, Ramblers, says Toronto Blade. Kind of hoping we sell Sousa and drop Hamer into that midfield with Blaster. Sign another proper winger on the left, Raksaki on the right. I assume you mean, yeah, that would be okay. I'd be all right with that. I can't say I wouldn't. Hi, Jimmy. Sorry, I'm half an hour behind. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. No problem, mate. Were you watching Sheffield United? Better not been. What's happening with the Asula sale? Don't agree with it, but people said the announcement was on Saturday. It's all but, I think from what I understand, it's done but not announced. That's not come from the club. That's just from other little things that I've been hearing. So it's done, not announced yet, but it will be. 17 out and only 7 in. You're not sure, are you, Rick? Fair enough, mate. Thoughts on the Blades starting the season with no shirt sponsor? Apparently, it's due to the takeover. On the flip side, the new owners have a sponsor lined up. Yeah, I don't think I'm betraying any confidences by saying there's the potential for a gambling sponsor with new ownership. I don't know if this is a deal that's agreed or anything. I don't know. I haven't spoken to the new ownership. I don't know enough about who they are or anything. But that would make sense to me because it's against Prince Abdullah's beliefs and I believe his religion and things. And I'm certainly not going to go down that route because I don't know enough about it. But it doesn't fit with Prince Abdullah's morals and beliefs to support gambling. But if you take morals aside for a minute, they are the most lucrative sponsorships in football, which I'm sure the new owners would at least consider. So that would make sense to me as to why. And I've seen that reported elsewhere. So again, I'm not breaching any confidences, but it makes sense that might be the reason. I'm hearing that Palace are sniffing around Hamer with the money from the Elise sale to Bayern Munich and potentially Gay sale to Newcastle. They might do, pal. They'll have to be quick. 17 out, but how many of that 17 would start this season, says FX. Squad's looking great to me. We're still a couple short, 3 short, I would say, maybe 4, maybe 5, if I'm being greedy. But of that 17, completely agree. And we might do this at one point when we've got a bit more time. How many would start? And how many will get into this starting lineup? Interesting. You're in for a big surprise when you get on the chat after the game. I won't spoil it for you. Okay, man. Okay. Mr. V, you are intriguing me. I'm going to try and make sure I'm... that passing the phone video was shocking. I felt ill watching it Instagram. I didn't mind it. It's something different, isn't it? Good evening, mate. Things are slowly coming together, says Brad. Really looking strong. Can't wait for the season. Up the Blades. Is Norrington Davis injured? Yeah, I believe he's not fully fit. From what I understand, Sean, we haven't seen much of him in pre-season, and you'd expect to see him, wouldn't you, if he was fit to go. Go goalie wag on Friday. Superb window so far, says the Man Mountain. Hats off to Wilder and the Prince. All this pre-takeover funding. Absolutely right, mate. Can't hear the negative noise. No. Bad day for the Misery Brigade. Well, we're not on the Misery Brigade, are we, today? We're having no part of that. Anyone seen Chirac? Getting worried now? Thing is, these are swings and roundabouts. We've been Blades long enough to know these are swings and roundabouts. If we don't get a goal, we will. We will. But can you imagine if we didn't get a goalkeeper in? They'd all be out then, wouldn't they? Probably me included. Are you going to be doing 90 after 90? I hope so. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. We will, Paul. We will be doing 90 after 90 this season. we'll be doing it after the games that I attend and I'm not doing a watch along. We'll be doing it after the games I don't do a watch along. Because I'll be watching the game for 2 hours essentially on stream, having my dad pecking me head all the way through, telling me I'm wrong, telling me he's right, which, sometimes is the case. And then I'm going to go and do the debrief, which is our new match reaction. If I'm not doing a watch along, we'll do a 90 after 90, as you know and love it. So some of you love it, some of you can't stand it, but that's fine. Horses for courses. I think we'll end up using all 5 loans, depending on goalkeeper, says Jamie. I think we'll use 4. I think we'll keep one back for Jan, just in case. Lee says, must admit, I find the bitterness towards some ex-players who are just making a living a bit odd. I think you're better than that. Ooh. What do you mean? Oh, did I have a pop at Wes? Oh. It's not to do with not wanting him to make a living, Lee, and that's fine. I don't mind you having that opinion. It's the way they leave. Sander Berger, I ain't got a nice thing to say about him either. Wes, I think, kicking football into cop and putting Bible verses on about not being respected and all this sort of thing, having little sly digs here and there. But then players like George Baldock, I couldn't say enough good things about him. So it's the way they leave. It's not about, I just don't respect him as a person for some of the things that he's done. And I can't help that. I'd rather come on and be honest with you about how I feel. Apologies if it sort of, you don't agree with it, but I understand. Sorry, Jim, cooking dinner and didn't realise I posted twice. Don't worry, mate. Hope you enjoy your tea. Does Raksaki play left or right wing? He's right wing, pal. Right wing. Suter and Moore, that's some aerial threat on corners, says C-Stick. It certainly is, pal. Preston have lost the last 5 last season without scoring. We can win their confidence will be low. Also, a player under the radar is McCallum, my player who will shine up the Blades, up the Ramble. Yes, nice. Who's your favourite signing so far? It's got to be Callum, hasn't it? It's got to be Callum O'Hare. I love Harrison Burrows, though. I think Harrison Burrows is gone under the radar a little bit because of how good Callum O'Hare is. They're my 2 faves. The Blades are on Sky Sports Plus, which launches tomorrow. Interesting. Any idea what number Suter and Gilchrist will wear? I'm guessing 6 and 2. Yeah, I think it's 6 and 2. All the new photos of the players, by the way, are on the website now. So you can see all the squad numbers. They're all in new kit. The only ones that aren't on yet are Suter and Gilchrist, because when I did my team earlier and flashed it on screen, I've just about got everybody's headshots and stuff where we're doing it properly. So it'll look a bit better going forward. But yeah, just so if anybody's interested in squad numbers and stuff like that. When do gambling sponsors get banned? Think it's next year, but not sure. I don't know. Pal, I didn't even know that were happening. Preston have signed that right back from Villa on loan who played for Plymouth. All right. Okay, mate. Okay. This is shaping up to be a good squad, says Paul. We must give Chris time to make them gel. Absolutely right. Hope the -2 is wiped out come Friday night. I think it might be, Tom. Fingers crossed, pal. I can't see Gus leaving. He was begging for Callum O'Hare to come in. That partnership this season will be unreal. Can you imagine if we get a full season out of them 2? And I think we might. Raksaki is better than Somerville. Pass it on. Oh. I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad he's gone as well. That weakens them, doesn't it? Would we sign 2 keepers if we get rid of Ivo Garbage, or just risk it with 2 decent stoppers? No, I think we'll go with 2 main keepers. If we can get rid of Ivo, then I don't think we'll bring an extra keeper in addition to the one that we want. Scott says this summer could be huge for the Blades in the sell-on journey. Oh yeah, Calvert-Lewin, Sander, Rammers, all rumoured to get moves. We won't get anything on Ramsdale. He won't go for more than we sold him, I don't think. Calvert-Lewin will get a nice chunk. Berger will do okay with. I've gone well over my half hour, haven't I? Hello, Jimmy. Hope you're having a good evening, mate. I am, thank you, Beast Boy. Hope you're well, pal. Imagine this team plus the ones still to come in 5 or 6 games time, especially with Wilder pushing them on. It's an exciting prospect, matey. Come on, you red and white wizards. Absolutely right. Sorry, I'm just reading between lines a little bit. Which kit is your favourite, Jimmy? I like the white one the best. Lovely design. Yeah, I like the away one. I do. The third one, sorry. Obviously, the red and white stripes you cannot get near, but yeah, as an alternative, the third kit I think is divine. Evening, Jimmy. Looking forward to Friday. At last, it's back. I need a goalie ASAP before QPR up the Blades, up the Ramble. Just last few comments now. Jimmy, do you think Ivo or Davis gets the nod? I feel like Ivo's been getting unnecessary hate. He'll be good at this level. I think Davis gets it just because of consistency in game time, to be honest, pal. I've no preference, really. I think probably Ivo has got the better credentials and CV, but he's certainly not shown it, has he? Suter already has on the website as the 6. Yeah, I'd seen that earlier, pal. Over 400 in and only 70 likes. Do it now, please, lads and lasses. Helps the channel. Yes, thank you, Mr. Mountain. Very much appreciated. And last comment from Andy Booth. I wonder if it's the old ex-Huddersfield striker. Saw him the other night, actually. Which youngsters do you think will make the breakthrough next? Had Brooks blaster last season, but Championship may be the perfect opportunity to bring someone else through. A lot of shouts for CD Peck. Some mentioning, like, Man Mountain's a big fan of Owen Hampson. I'm a big fan of Louis Marsh. I'd like to see him get out on loan and get some minutes. Ryan One could potentially break through if he stays around, because we've not got many options up top at the minute. So we've got some really good, exciting youngsters. Don't know, it'd be a wait and see job, but you know, interesting to see what's going to happen. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to wrap it up there. We usually go half an hour. We've gone over 50 minutes. So thank you, everybody, for joining me. I am so excited for what's to come. The season is back. We're back on Friday. As I said, join us for the watch along. We'll be on from, I think, 7:30. We've set it from myself and Andy the Blade with his usual moans and groans. Let's see who takes the McBurney mantle now that he's gone. Will be the new target. Or will he become actually a positive Blade? We shall see. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Oh, lovely.